What is a Mazda from the 90s with a front midship engine, rear-wheel drive, and curvy, swoopy styling?
I know you want me to say RX-7, but it's a 929, isn't it?
Yeah.
We love big luxury sedans racing in lemons, and that's whether you've got an S-Class or a 7 Series going for the I Got Screwed award, an Infiniti going kind of fast and then failing in 47 inexplicable different ways, or an LS400 doing weirdly well. This team in Texas posed the question, what if we did a luxury sedan that was none of the above?
This is Simp Motorsports, which stands for Sucker Idolizing Mazda Projects, and they're running a 1992 Mazda 929. They didn't initially have their sights set on a 929. The team captain Chris originally bought a clapped-out Mazda 6 from police auction for lemons, but that car ended up having terminal transmission problems. But great news, there was a 929 kicking around that had run with several lemons teams already that was up for sale. Car showed up in 2018 with the team who crashed it. Then they sold it to Hi Hungry I'm Dad, who spent some years figuring out what the hell it was, and then it had some transmission problems, and voila, new team.
Alright, so what the hell is a Mazda 929? Well, this 92 model is the second generation model for the American market, and it was based on the Japanese market Mazda Sentia.
You Sentia.
Sentia. Striking.
The Sentia was a pretty big swing for Mazda. It had a rear drive layout, swoopy low slung styling. They were clearly targeting the big boy luxury cars from BMW and Mercedes. The upscale vibe was reflected in the 929's features. Mechanically, you had things like four-wheel steering and variable intake runners. On the interior, you had heated seats, solar-powered ventilation, 6-disc CD changer, and pre-wiring for a cell phone. It was pretty impressive for the early 90s.
So, how did it sell?
Poorly.
Now, the 929 faced various issues in its lifetime. The Mazda nameplate didn't exactly have the cachet of the then-new Lexus, Acura, and Infiniti brands, let alone Mercedes or BMW. Now, although the layout and suspension had sporty potential, the 929 was heavy, and the V6 was not really as powerful as the V8s from those other brands, or even an Acura V6. So after only 3 years in the US market, it quietly retired, never to return.
So, you've got an old, heavy, underpowered, unusual car with little to no part support, perfect for endurance racing.
Well, okay.
Now, when they got this car, the first problem Simp Motorsports had to tackle was the transmission issue. This is a stock automatic that came with the car. It's the only transmission available in this generation 929. When they picked it up, it only had 2 forward gears. They eventually traced the problem to a faulty transmission control module. Of course, that module was 92 to 95 Mazda 929 only, so they went online and bought every single one they could find, which was 6. And it's a good thing they have 6. We're not sure how many they've gone through, but it's some. All we know is that they've come up with a custom quick release mechanism to swap these modules.
Not a good sign.
Once they got the transmission working, they turned to the fun stuff, performance upgrades, of which there are none for a Mazda 929. So they cut the springs, kept the worn out shocks and the stock brakes, and that's about it. The motor is also stock. It's a JE Series V6, which, yep, you guessed it, is unique to the Mazda 929. Started with about 195 horsepower, maybe when new. Team suspects there's quite a bit less going on there now.
Despite being a big heavy car with a probably irreplaceable engine and a questionable automatic transmission, this car at one point ran almost flawlessly and brought the team to a 20th overall finish at MSR Houston in a field of 110 cars. Maybe more impressive than that was the list of cars they beat. V8 Mustangs, 3 Series BMWs, 3 Series BMWs with V8 Mustang motors in them. All of those things lost to a stock automatic Mazda 929, and that was more than enough to earn the team the Index of Effluency Award, the top prize in Lemons.
Now, Simp Motorsports acknowledges that the stock drivetrain might not be a permanent Lemon solution, so they're already looking at a potential swap once the original stuff gives up the ghost. Post in the comments what you think they should toss in the engine bay of their Mazda 929.
In the meantime, enjoy what's probably the only stock HD generation Mazda Sentia / 929 road racing anywhere in the world. Now that's striking.
New Sentia.
Sentia. Striking.
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?